The Babylonian Talmud, a towering work of Jewish law. It's often thought of as solely a book of religious instruction, but within its pages lies something much more controversial. Here, we find references to Jesus of Nazareth, not as a revered figure, but a threat, attacked, ridiculed, and rejected.
All of you! This man is dangerous! He's leading you astray!
His words bring hope and healing!
His words are blasphemous, heretical!
And I say woe to you, Pharisees, for you love the best seat in the synagogues, and greetings in the marketplaces.
Take it back. Right now, recant your insulting words, for I am just getting started.
Yet these very attacks hold a deeper significance than the Talmud's authors ever intended. Consider this. In Gittin 57a, the Talmud describes Yeshu, widely understood to be Jesus, being condemned to boil in excrement in the afterlife. A brutal insult, no doubt.
The Jesus the Nazarene, boiling in excrement, that sounds like this is a reference to Jesus of Christianity, right? And so some people have been very concerned about this, and you even find in church history instances where Talmuds were burned in part because of these kinds of concerns.
But what's the real impact of this statement? The rabbi's intent was to degrade and dismiss him, to erase his influence. Yet in doing so, they accomplished the opposite. Their attempt to slander Jesus instead serves as evidence of his undeniable presence. If he weren't significant, why mention him at all? Their criticism confirms what they couldn't admit. Jesus mattered. He was more than just another man, and they knew this. Nothing they could do could diminish the force of what he was. Here's where things get deeper. The more the Talmudian Jews condemned him, the stronger his influence became.
I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
This isn't just irony, it speaks to something far greater. The Talmud aimed to contain his message, but instead, it revealed the very power they sought to deny. Why? Because Jesus wasn't just a historical figure. He was, and is, the Son of God. The rabbis could mock him, dismiss him, and try to erase him. But in reality, they were powerless against the one who created all things.
Yes. There's always a carpenter. Even the Lord himself is a carpenter sometimes.
How is the Lord a carpenter?
And when the Lord made the world, wasn't wisdom there like a master craftsman? If wisdom is not the Lord, what is wisdom?
Their efforts were futile because they were never in control. He was. And history proved it. Jesus' message spread like wildfire, touching every corner of the world. His followers multiplied, and his teachings took root in places far beyond the reach of the Talmudic authors. Jesus wasn't buried by their words. He was and is elevated by them. It was as if their very attempts to condemn him ensured his legacy would endure. This is poetry that only God could author. They didn't fail to discredit him because of poor effort. They failed because they were fighting a force beyond their control, the will of God. This wasn't just a clash of religious texts. It was God's plan unfolding. In their attempts to destroy Jesus, they unknowingly played into his divine will. Jesus is God, and his will isn't shaped by human slander or opposition. It prevails no matter who stands in the way.
I found this video about what people who living in Israel, what they think of Jesus. So let's see what they have to say.
Who is Jesus to you?
אוקיי. מאיפה אנחנו יודעים בעצם?
זה מובא בתלמוד הבבלי.
אוקיי, מה כתוב?
שמי התעברה. כתוב שם מי התעברה, אני לא זוכר בדיוק את השם. אם תרצה, זה לא המשיח.
זה לא המשיח.
התלמיד של תנא, אבל הוא כפר בעיקר. הוא יצא לדרך שלו.
So it seems like there is some major conflict between Judaism and Christianity, because it seems like Judaism is defined in opposition of Christianity.
The Talmud's hostile references only confirm that Jesus left an indelible mark. They couldn't erase his existence. They couldn't destroy his message. Why? Because it wasn't a message of man, but of God himself. In their attempt to condemn, they only spotlighted what they feared most. Jesus endures, not despite their attacks, but because of them. Those who thought they could erase him from history, Their slander was as weak as their understanding. They played right into the hands of the very God they tried to discredit. This isn't just history, it's divine history unfolding exactly as he willed. If this story sparked your curiosity and you're interested in uncovering more untold truths from history, make sure to subscribe and follow us for more insightful explorations. Jesus is King.